Hi guys, this is Mama Sue, and I was making my daughter a pair of earrings, and I decided why not let you see it as I'm doing it. So here's what I got. This is the earring we're going to be making, and it's a purple. It's a rock. My daughter likes natural rocks in her earrings, so that's what we got here. So on this one, well, you can almost tell it's purple when I put it on the white. Yeah, it's a purple and kind of a lavender. It's purple and lavender, and it's kind of swirled. The bead's kind of a swirled bead. And then I've got two pieces hooked together, a smaller bead and a larger bead. And let me get this down here. I have, let me get something to point with. I've got a smaller bead, and then I've got a larger bead right here. I've got a little metal spacer bead, a real pretty one. It's one of those ones with a design in them. Then I've got a regular flower spacer bead on both areas, and I've done the same thing on both of the earrings. I mean, on both sides, except for this little piece right here. That's the only added piece. This is made exactly like this, except for this piece. And then I hook them to the wire. So that's what we're making, and it's going to be really cool when it's done. And I can't wait to show my daughter when she comes home. I'm going to have that ready for her. Anyway, where we start is we grab one of our wires, and we're going to add the little, scoot this up, we're going to add the little tip here, little gold ball. Then we're going to put one of our spacer beads, just like that. Then we're going to put our big bead. Oh, which way is this big bead going so I can make them kind of the same? Yeah, they will be. Nope, it has to go the other way. These beads have a pattern in them, and I'm trying to make sure that like I'm making sure both the circles are in the front. They're a little different, but that's because they're natural rocks. Okay, now we need another spacer bead. Then we need our special spacer bead right here, like that. And then we need our last little round bead. And this is the bottom part. We just finished the bottom part, except for putting a knot in there. I mean a circle. Now we want to make it, we want to try to make sure it comes out the same size as this one. So we're going to, oh, wait a minute. Is this the big ball? Yeah. Come on, it looks bigger. It looks bigger than the other, but it's not actually. It's just, it appears different when you turn these balls around. I don't know why. They're just different. Anyway, then I'm going to grab this right here. I'm going to grab it up a little higher. Just like here. Because we're going to find out how big we need it. So if I start up high, I can always turn my pliers to pull it in more. See? Did you see what I did there? I was like this, and I just pulled it in more. And I'm still not touching the beads yet. But I want to put this up to this and see if I've got it about in the right place. So this one's a little higher, so I want to bring it down some. And to bring it down some, all I've got to do is turn it inward. Just a little bit, then I can bring this down. Now let me see if that's right now. If I did them together, I don't have this problem, and you'll probably do them together. Now that's going to be perfect when I get that done. So what I want to do is I want to hold onto this circle and wind around. So I'm going to grab something to hold onto the circle. Then I'm going to grab a plier and just go round and round. I grabbed my crazy weird pliers because they're sitting there and they're so handy for me to use. Now I'm going to cut off that excess. See how I have that excess there? You can see it better when I don't put my hand there. But we're going to cut that off. Okay, I just cut that off. Now I've still got that little burr right there. I want to get that burr flattened down. Now let me get myself in there. See, I just flatten that little thing down. Then I'm going to straighten that circle up. Well, that looks pretty good. Now let's see if these are right. Perfect size. When you get used to doing this, it'll come out perfect size every time. Now we got to do this small one, but there's a trick on this one because you've got to hook these two together before you wind this. You got to hook those wires into each other, or you won't be able to get that on there because this has been wrapped, and this one's wrapped too. So we're gonna just do a little trick with that one. So I'm going to cut off that little ball because I don't have any wire this color. So I'm just going to cut off the ball and use one of these because it's the same color as this. This is not very thick wire, but it's the ones that have the balls on them. In the brass, I think this is. Well, this might be copper. No, it's brass. Looks like brass. It's soft though. Normally my brassy type stuff feels a little bit heavier to me. Maybe. I don't know what it is. Well, anyway, I'm going to grab this right about here because I don't want to take too much until I get this made up. See how I'm turning that around like that? Now I want to check and see if that circle is about the same size as the circle right here, because that's where we're working from right there. Oh, that is pretty close. I'll make it a tiny bit bigger. Now the way you make it bigger is you just move backwards. See, I just turned it a little bit this way. I just turned it a little bit that way and made that hole a little bigger. Now I'm going to just hang on to it and start to wrap it. Now let me get my pliers. I can't squash that down. Get a hold of that and wrap it around. And wrap it around and squash it down. Let me squash it down this way too. I hope you can see what I'm doing. If you're using regular wire, it'll be a lot easier than if you're using just these wires that are already pre-cut. I'm going to stick my plier in there and just squash this up a little bit. You stick it in the other side. Boy, I can't get a hold of this. I am just messed up today. I'm going to squish that up a little bit. I've still got a little burr there I want to cut off. Oh! I just didn't do what I was supposed to do. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'll do it this time. I was supposed to hook that on to this piece before I did the wrapping. Maybe that's why I was having such trouble. Okay, let's try it again. Put your plier, about 1/4 inch or so of wire sticking out, maybe a little bit more. Turn it, turn it. Now this is a stop point. This is your place. Now these are both the same size circles, so that's perfect. Now I'm going to take this one here that we already made, and I'm going to put it on here and snap it in place so that it's on there already. Then I'm going to hold on to that. Then I'm going to wrap the wire. That's what I messed up on. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to hang on to this little circle here, and I'm going to get it started. Then I'm going to grab it with my pliers. See, I just pushed it a little bit to get it started. Now I'm using my pliers. Get around there. Now I'm going to cut off that excess. I'm going to squish this down a little bit by sticking my plier in the hole and on the top of the wire, and I squashed it down a little bit. And now I'm going to cut off that excess wire. I'm going to feel it for any burrs. I don't feel any burrs on this one. Cool. I got that right there. Okay, now let me put this up to this and see what we've got. This looks good. Okay, now we're going to make this piece right here. Now that it's hooked together, because we had to hook that together first. That's the tricky part. 6 out of 10 times I will do it wrong. Have to redo it like I had to do it for you. Because I don't always make this kind. When you're not normally making them, it just messes you up sometimes. Oh, I just put one of the balls on. Now I'm putting a spacer bead, a flower. Now I'm putting the little ball. Now a spacer bead. Now the last little ball. There we go. Now we've got that thing put together. Now we got to roll this top here. Well, let's see how big that circle is. Oh, it's about the same as the other one. That'll be good. Let me see if this matches up good in size. You know, I don't think they cut the hole in exactly the right place on this one ball, because it seems like it's a little bit off. I don't know if it's the design or if it's actually off. But it still looks pretty. But it kind of messes with my eyes. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this here, because I want to make sure these are the same size. So instead of rolling it around, I'm just going to push this around and turn it with my plier a little bit. But I'm going to leave a space there because I want to match these up to one another and make sure they're the exact same size before I wrap the edge. I mean, wrap that last wrap place. Okay, I'm putting these together. And it needs to come down more. It's the right size hole, but it needs to be turned in more. So to turn it in to where it comes closer to the metal, I'm just going to turn with my pliers, and then I'm going to pull this piece down some. Now let me see if that's right now. I can't come down much more than that. Okay, put these together. It's just about right. I'm going to pull it up just a teeny bit. But this is a way you can always do it that it's going to come out the right size. Let me see what I got here. I had one of my, this little bead here, this one little bead right here just went over my knot and made it smaller. So I would advise you to wrap that just a little bit more so you have a thicker place so that your bead doesn't go down over it. I never had that happen before. Go, what? Okay, now I'm going to get a hold of this. I'm going to grab my pliers and I'm going to start wrapping it. And then my daughter will be happy. I think she'll like this pair. She picked the beads out herself. She even went out and bought beads. She bought all kinds of beads. Says, well, I need this color and I need this color and you can have the rest. I go, hey, it works for me. I would have done it for you anyway. She's my biggest fan. She loves my jewelry. So it just brings me a lot of joy making her things. Now I'm going to squash that down just to make sure that I have that little piece in there. Okay, let me put these together and check it one more time. Ah, that's looking good. Okay, now I'm going to put the wire on and we will be done with this one. But first I'm going to bend that wire. You know about me and these wires. I don't like this kind of wire. I'll just grab onto this and pull it down just to make that straight. I like it straight. I like my earrings hanging down straight. Okay, move that up, not out. Keep it from weakening. Okay, now I'm just moving it down and moving it against the wire. And I'm going to give it a little squash there. And my daughter has a new pair of earrings. There we go. Well, you guys have a great day and God bless and keep you safe.